What's up, you guys? This is OffTopicGames with another weekly Saturday tournament. This one is November 26th, the Saturday finals. Here on the right, we have the Cargo player, FrayedHero from AllontheVanguard. Shoutouts to them. And on the left, we have me, Kaden from OffTopicGames, playing Gear Chronicle. So, what do we expect to see in this matchup? For the Gear Chronicle player, a bunch of Malem combos and a bunch of attacks. And on the right, for the Cargo player, hopefully a bit of control. It's a bit harder as the Cargo player as they can't use Denial Griffin to stop Malem combo because Malem still goes off even though it gets retired. So Cargo player goes first. He uses Sedag, rides the Perfect Guard. Gear Chronicle player also rides the Perfect Guard, so that's fine. Swings, hits nothing, hits a heal and damage, whatever. So just as a note, the Gear Chronicle player is running 3 Arlems and one of the PGs that searches when you, or that gets bounced to the hand when you call it through Time Leap. So guards with the draw trigger because he played the Nahalem and then takes the Vanguard. Rides the 12k attacker. Not too sure if that's still optimal in the deck because I did take out the Square 1 dragon, so the upstream combo doesn't work that well, but whatever. Swings at the rear guard because Nahal's very good, hits the crit, that's unfortunate, but whatever. So he rides Dote, which means that attacking the rear guard did prevent him from using the possible Dote skill, which is nice. So no guard, hits the draw, and the crits. That's pretty good already. But the Gear Chronicle player does get the extra, or the stride turns, so that's good. Rides Chronojet G, strides into the Huanglong, which means it's a Gear Dragon, or Zodiac Time Beast, or both. So he gets the call up to 1, then time loop the card. So calls the TikTok, time loops the TikTok. That's very interesting as the Gear Chronicle player goes into Malem, which means what he wants to do is call out the TikTok with the Huanglong skill. Pretty technical plays, or just bounce it to his hand. That's up to him. So shuffles. Gear Chronicle player is going to shuffle a lot. Calls the History Maker and a crit trigger. Malem swings, no triggers. That's good for the Gear Chronicle player, and then unfortunate for the Cargo player. Urwater comes out, and then don't know why you're shuffling because you're gonna. Yeah, okay. Time leaves the Urwater back into Malem. Now you have to shuffle because you have to give the opponent cutting. So resolving skills, Urwater, draw 2, put 1 to the bottom, and then the stand gets shuffled as well. It goes to the bottom, but you're shuffling anyway, so whatever. And then he takes it, hits the draw, which is very strong. Now here's the dilemma because he hit the draw trigger. So instead, you swing with the Vanguard, which is very interesting. Uses the crit to draw a card. Hits crit boost, and the stab, which is really, really nuts. So no damage triggers, which is also very bad for the Kagero player. Then that guy's skill gets the TikTok, calls it in stand specifically, which means both units can hit and it's both 5k guard. So Malem swings, he guards the draw trigger, gets the Urwater to come out, and then Malem goes off again. History Maker goes off again, grabs the Urwater. Grabs the PG because Malem can't hit. So PG gets added to hand, and then the Urwater goes off. So draw 2, put 1 back, and then shuffle, and then discard a card, and then put the PG to your hand. Then left, we have 2 TikToks still on the board, as well as the History Maker, but we assume they're both dead because the Cargo player has access to retire, obviously. And you have to take damage as the Gear Chronicle player because you have no counterblast. And you need counterblast for the History Maker. So what do we do here? Strides into Vortex, no. Stride. He's probably gonna go to Mustafa here, if I'm not wrong. So Cargo player runs Mustafa. That's nice to note. I don't, but it's a good card, so you should run it. Has the burnout anyway, so you can pop all three if he wants. Then we realized that his stride went into soul, but yeah. Then uses Mustafa to kill the second TikTok because TikTok's a broken card. Contemplates about using Sedeg, but decides not to because you could just swing at it with the 9k. Yep, so I guess he decides not to. And then calls a booster. So I believe it was right to use Sedeg, but he didn't. And then crit 1, crit 2, well, 3 to 6 in one go. Very unfortunate for the Gear Chronicle player, but, you know, double crit. And we're going on to game 2. So what did I see wrong between both players? Not too much, because the game ended super early with double crit, which is very unfortunate. For the Gear Chronicle player, maybe losing double TikTok was bad, but I do believe, if I recall, I did have a way to access the Millennium combos still. I don't exactly remember how. I assume I just put it back and just re-get it because I had double heal in hand. But yeah. For the Cargo player, double crit, very strong. Personally, if you're going to call that booster, I would have used the Sedeg to pop the History Maker because obviously History Maker is a very strong card and you want to get rid of it. But yeah. Maybe he just wanted to save it for the possible, I guess, like cool plays that you can do with the Denial Griffin or Defeat Flare, but personally I would have just used it because History Maker is worth a starter, so yeah. Moving on to game 2, what can both players do better? Not get double critted. Hit damage triggers earlier, I guess. Not much else because we didn't see much of the first game. Cooler starting would be better. The Cargo player has the burnout and Condor play that would be very strong, but he didn't this turn, so that's unfortunate. So Cargo player goes first again, which is again very unfortunate for the Cargo player. Gear Chronicle player rides the Perfect Guardian, swings, no guards, and hits nothing. So personally, in my opinion, in order for Cargo to win, like in general, you need to out-trigger the opponent, which obviously the Cargo player did game 1 with the double crit. But in order to stay alive, I do believe that out-triggering your opponent is something that you need to do. Hits the draw. It was a 10k guard, and now it's a no pass. Vanguard was in Blaze, if that matters. So uses the grade 1, gets Chronojet G, I believe, yes. Gets Chronojet G by revealing the OG Chronojet. I believe discarding a random card because you need Stride Fodder. Yep. So this card's the perfect. This card's a heal. That's a pretty tough choice. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's up to you. This is Stand Trigger. Didn't put it up top because... Didn't call the grade 1 up front because he could just not ride, swing at the rear guard, and then I can't Subbreeze or anything. And I'd be forced to ride grade 3. First. Swings Vanguard, that's whatever. No trigger, hope hidden trigger there. Does, so rear guard does nothing. Personally, I believe that's a misplay, or it's just greedy. I would have swung with the rear guard first, and then swing with the Vanguard. Looks for the Huanglong or the Metallica. So it goes into Metallica. I believe I switch it out here because I drew the stand trigger, so contemplates a bit, checks everything. and decides to go for the Huanglong because plussing one is always nice, and searching for the Malem. I know I already have a Malem in my hand, and History Maker, which is very weird, so yeah, this is where it gets really weird. I also have a TikTok in my hand, which is very unfortunate. I am going to misplay here, so I'm bad. Don't know what else to say about that. But I start committing first, which is really bad, because you probably shouldn't against Kagero. But yeah, Urwater skill goes off, gotta put the Urwater back. I'll realize it, yep. Yeah, just know that I'm misplaying a little bit here. But yeah, so swing with the Malem. Note that now there's no way for me to use the Huanglong skill because nothing will go in the bind zone and stay there unless I time leap something that's not the stand trigger, so that was my misplay there. The reason why I time leaped and grabbed the grade 1 guy was because I wanted to put the TikTok back to the deck. But I didn't call the TikTok that was in my hand in order to do silly combos. So this was my misplay here. I should not have done this. Yeah, just standard stuff. Tick away goes last because I'm planning on putting the starter back, the TikTok. So yeah, and I don't want to drive check it or anything, so that's why it stays on the bottom. Vanguard swings, realizes that I suck. Oh, he didn't guard the grade 2 first. Yep, okay. Vanguard swings, no guards. Hits nothing, and also hits nothing. So 10k guard here, I believe. Or 5k, sorry, he had a trigger. Grabs the TikTok back even though it's probably going to die. Yeah, again, I did misplay because I just did utilize my turns better and my stuff. I must have forgot, but the TikTok tick away is supposed to go away at the end of the turn. That's my fault and my misplay. Because I did time leap it with the stand trigger and the Chronojet G skill. So my fault there, very sorry you guys, that was a misplay on my part. Just completely forgot, because normally you time leap to Malem and it goes away anyways. But this time I didn't. So probably going into Mustafa again. As the Kagero player, you want to guarantee the retire for TikTok and the History Maker. But we'll see. So just contemplating, because it's kind of a hard decision. You don't know if your opponent will let it hit or not, because you want to get more off of your retire, obviously, but you also want to make sure that something actually does go away instead of you just giving pressure without it doing too much. So gets the guaranteed retire, which is very smart. I would do that too. You can retire a minimum of 2 things. Or a minimum of 1, technically. We can get more with the Sadeg. So flips, Titan. TikTok goes away. I see a jaw trigger there. I don't know if the TikTok card choice was right, but I think he just calls it as a booster. So I'm not too sure if I agree with it. Don't hate it either. It's depends. Doesn't it double crit? So that's nice. We got a 4 instead. Hits the trigger, so swings at the rear guard, and I'm totally fine with that because I have more in my hand, and I would have had to guard it or no guarded it if he swung at the Vanguard. So contemplates on what to go into. I believe it's yep. Next stage, because the next stage is very good. On-call ability, or on-stride ability, gets History Maker with the Steam Breath. So again, here, I believe that the Kagero player should attack Vanguard with the Burning Horn, because things like that could happen. The reason why I did it was because I just wanted to conserve things in my hand, or those guys in my hand. What's really weird here is I don't have any triggers in hand or Malem, so I just couldn't get Malem. So it's pretty standard generic time loop stuff without using Malem. It's very unfortunate, but you know, things like this happen occasionally, so you just kind of have to deal with it. Perfect guards. His next stage is good. Double grade 3 and 1 draw, which is pretty junk. So discards all 3 of the cards that were drive checked. Should swing with next stage here. I believe I'm hoping to hit 2 triggers, but he no guards, crit to win, but we hit nothing, which is very doo-doo because we hit like 3 triggers total in this game. 2 in the damage and like 1 in the 1 draw trigger or something like that. So yeah, 16 using Time Leap. Time Leaps the grade 2 into a grade 3 just to get out more attacks. Oh wait, what am I doing? Again, sorry you guys, I have no clue what I just did there. That's supposed to be a grade 3. Or a grade 2, grade 3. Maybe I was supposed to time leap the Steam Breath behind the Vanguard. It doesn't really matter, but I guess the thing that I chose was just wrong. Just assume that the grade 2 that was time leaped was instead the grade 1. It doesn't matter too much, but yeah, again, sorry about that, you guys. I guess I just like really suck or something. Don't know what I was doing there. But yeah, anyways, Tick Away goes off again because cards were called due to Time Leap. Crit goes back as well as TikTok. So again, my fault there. Don't know what I was doing. Could have just Time Leaped the Steam Breath behind the Vanguard anyways. Uses Legion. Again, don't know if that's the right play here, but I believe that he likes pressuring with this. I also don't see a grade 3 in the hand, so it does make sense. Yep. Grabs the Dote because he doesn't have good Dote. Then calls the rear guards at 11k. It's just an 11. Intercepts to make sure he does. Oh, okay. So he realizes that that's wrong and swings at the rear guard so he can guarantee Dote. Not guaranteed per se, but it was good. So he uses the Dote. Restands the Vanguard. I think you just draw check a Dote, but you can't use it because he's out of Counter Blast. He only has 1. So swings again. Perfect guard. That's the non-unflipping one. Drive check. Hits nothing. There's the starter. Then I guess contemplates on the cross if he has it. Oh, so he just passes. Actually, yeah, this is a very smart play because he passes so that he denies me counterblast for next stage plus like Malem combos because I did drive second Malem next turn. So very smart on his part. But I do have Metallica Phoenix if need be, or I can just straight go into Gear Groovy. So I believe Metallica Phoenix is the play that I go for here because it's strong. But we do contemplate the Gear Groovy, which is essentially next stage. Okay, yeah, Metallica Phoenix, very solid play. Not too much you can say about it. I do have both History Maker and the Malem. So Malem goes in, intercepts. Lem grabs the stand. Pretty standard stuff here. So here you probably swing the rear guard first. Yep. Grabs the Milan back. Shuffles, gives the opponent to cut, the opportunity to cut. Stand goes off, puts the stand back in case you hit it. The stand in the hand, I mean. Generally, standard stuff, Gear Chronicle is pretty unfair. You could argue that you should swing with the Vanguard first before the History Maker, but I didn't have too many cards in my deck, and then there's so many triggers still in the deck as well. So that's why I just wanted to thin it out as much as possible and get more things in. 10k guards, swings 11. He's at 5, so he just has to guard like everything. Fives. I believe he has to take the Vanguard because it looks like his hand is pretty bad. Or maybe there's PG in his hand, I can't exactly see. Metallic Phoenix skill. Grabs the Malem. Takeaway goes off, that's supposed to be back like forever ago. And then stand goes off after. Perfect guards the Vanguard, discards a grade 3. I see a 15k guard in his hand. Hits 1 trigger. And only 1. So 15k guard. Guards with everything. And then grabs the TikTok. So I believe that the Kagero player is essentially dead here. Not too much you can do. 0 cards in hand, only 1 Vanguard and 1 rear guard draw trigger. Draw trigger could kill the... Okay, he kills the TikTok with the draw trigger. Kadiju is a crit, so it swings in the Vanguard. Gets... grabs another TikTok back, I believe. Yep. By the way, the Gear Chronicle player is running 2 TikToks total. And guards for no pass, 30k guard. Cross with Chronojet, so you could use cross. Oh, he cannot because he doesn't have counterblast. Stride. Oh, no stride. Strides, okay. Was gonna stride into breeze, but realized we have 2 Metallica Phoenix, because Metallica Phoenix is good. Has the Malem, no guards it, and we're going on to game 3. So, basically, Gear Chronicle just ran train and then beat up the Kagero player here in game 2. Not much could be done. What I would like to see, though, a little bit more is some cool plays with Sideg. If you do have the heal, you could try to pop the Malem or something else and then kill another thing with the Sideg in order to try and stop their plays. Again, it's all dependent on the board that the Gear Chronicle player has. And the Gear Chronicle player has knowledge that you could do it as well, so you may commit more, but that does mean you have more to retire. So it's kind of like a off and on thing, but the only problem is that the Kagero player is just at a disadvantage because it is Gear Chronicle. By the way, the No Game No Life mat, if you guys agree with me, it looks really nice. I really enjoy it, but FrayedHero's mat also looks very cool. Heroes. So, yep. By the way, if you are a Kagero player and you really don't like Gear Chronicle, you could either try to run the Belog. I really don't like the card, but it can stop the Gear Chronicle player's plays by popping the stand trigger when you guard it with Malem. So Gear Chronicle player goes first. I believe I'm grade locked for like quite a while in this match. Spoilers, I know, sorry guys. So searches into Legend because Legend is good. I do believe it's a one of 4 cross 3 Dote and 1 Legend. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So swings at rearguard, swings with rearguard to the Vanguard, no guards, swings again, no guards. Hits crit, very strong for the Kagero player. Ride, call, swing rearguard. Hits the crit, swings, and he has a 10k in his hand, but I believe he takes it. So 2 damage. The reason why is because you'll see here he ends up calling the crit and swinging at the crit with the crit, which is very funny. I kind of like the play. It's very interesting. Yep. Greedy? Yeah, 1 to fast always. So we don't have the grade 3 here. Not gonna do anything. We'll take the Surprise, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't run Surprise. Yeah. So rides the Legend here. Soul Blast it out in top 5. So our hand as the Gear Chronicle player is very, very awkward. Don't know what can really save us. Grade 3, obviously. But that means we can't stride because we don't have stride fodder. Didn't want a G assist, of course, because I know he doesn't run Surprise, and the only thing that can really kill us is Dote, but he doesn't have it. So calls to rear guys, that's very hard to deal with. Swings of the Vanguard. Greedy here is no guard because it can stop 2 things, and 10k guards the Vanguard. So no guard, don't hit anything, and I believe we're again greedy and no guards it. Yep. So no crit, which is very good. It saves us. Hits the crit or hits the trigger, so he's forced to swing the rear guard. Contemplating on guarding this, but no. So there we go. There's the grade 3. Unfortunately, it is not that card. It is not Chronojet G, which is very unfortunate. You'll see here that I do not have Malem either, which is very, very bad. Here we have to contemplate a while of what we want to do, because A, we had to strive 2 cards. B, like, it's very, very awkward. So, I strode with History Maker here. That's, in hindsight, probably wrong, but I'm not too sure about it until later on, because I am now handless. And honestly, I probably should have kept History Maker just to extend combos, get more attacks out, as well as just more stuff, yeah. So, curious about what I want to do first, but I know I'm going to swing with the rear guard first, because TikTok still goes off. I do get the Malem out, which means I get both the things out. And then Malem swings first so that I can, if he doesn't hit trigger, I get the 5k out, as well as 2 TikToks back to the drop zone due to GG, which I will probably use. Placement here might be a little bit wrong if it stays here. This stand trigger should be like behind the Vanguard or something. The reason why is because GG gets called in rest, but if you had a stand trigger, you could stand the rear guard behind the History Maker, and then it'll be a good number. So Soul Blast 2, draw a card. Swing Vanguard first because, you know, you gotta push out. And be, although a little bit greedy, not too greedy because they're at 4. Hoping to hit a lot of triggers here. I know that I don't because I suck. Spoilers. So stand trigger goes off again. The grade 3 goes back. Checks how much soul I have, because I was curious if time leaping the GG would have been better, but no ways. There's just no ways. I also, what you could do is time leap the GG with something else, but again, there's no ways. Like, right here, like after this, you could time leap the GG with History Maker, get a 8k, and bounce the star back to the deck. But like, you could do that, or you can just use Malem and just draw more cards, right? So it's just better, technically. Because you get more attacks, and you just draw cards at the same amount. So FrayedHero is contemplating what he wants to do here. What does he do? So, oh, I see. So I'm currently asking him if he has a PG in his hand as well as a heal. So the play I'm thinking of, he has one grade 3 in his drop zone. He PGs, discards the grade 3. He has 2 grade 3s in his drop zone now, Flame Dragon specific. Then he can heal G-Guard with Defeat Flare. Defeat Flare pops the GG, and then Sedeg skill, your opponent has to choose which card to retire, and then you only have History Maker or Malem on the field. So that means you get rid of their like multi-attacks, because you guaranteed have to get, or they will guaranteed get rid of History Maker, because History Maker will, or Malem will still go off, but History Maker does absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's the play I'm thinking of. I still, to this day, agree with this play, that even though there's a bunch of commitment, you save so many cards in hand, and you can, like, almost for sure kill them next turn. But I believe what FrayedHero really wanted to do was save a lot of grade 3s in hand to just go into Ace, because he just had the G-Guard. So, Drive Check hits 1 crit only, puts the crit on the Malem, and the rear guard gets the power. Malem goes in with crit, he can't take it, he has to guard it. So he's contemplating on G-Guarding here. I don't know how many cards in hand, I can't exactly see. I know he has a grade 3 in his hand and a grade 3, so we'll see. Is it 3 cards in hand? So right now he just asks what the drive check is. Then he G-Guards. The Nile Griffin just pop it. Even though it still goes off, I guess it's just, you just pop it. Because you can G-Guard anyways, so this goes off, 5k guard. He's at 4, he can no guard if he wants. Again, here, like, Sedeg isn't bad, but it's fine if you don't, because you just pop the GG. So, obviously, you go into Malem here. You could, yeah, you just go into Malem here. So, at this moment, I realized that the one thing that can kill me right here is if he goes into Novell. So, I see the cards in hand, I draw 2 grade 1s, which just absolutely sucks. Which you'll see here is just very, very unfortunate on my part. So puts back a grade 1, because that kills me anyways. I believe I put back the PG that time leaps, you bounce it to hand. Because again, like, Novell kills me. And then he hits a trigger which saves him, I believe, because he has one card in hand, and I think it's a PG and a grade 3. So if he discards both, that means he just can't do anything, right? So it just goes into the Urwater because there's really nothing else to go into here. I believe he draws a trigger. Strides with the grade 3 that he had in his hand goes into Novell. Novell's skill goes off. I believe he now has a PG, and oh, I see it. It's a draw trigger. So here you can either just go in and just call it and swing the rear guard. It doesn't really matter because I know that I do have a grade 1 in my hand to just guard it. 31. Unfortunately, I drew 2 grade 1s. So we're going for 2 to pass. It is a 30k guard against 31, so that's 2. Hits nothing. Hits the crit on the Vanguard. And on the Vanguard we go. Hits the heal. And gotta shake because damage shake does not matter. Because it's Novell. So good game for both players. If he says that, but I just had another card anyways. So good game to both players. Cargo player beat out the Gear Chronicle player.